Sup guys, Stan Kosh here. In this video we will be talking about 185 adjustments for the heroes, wishlist, signature item, and that will be kinda beginner's guide for the wishlist, so you will know which heroes to build. That will be useful for the beginner and more advanced players, so you can refresh your data on AFK Arena and you will know the benchmarks of every hero, so you will know who to invest to. And this guide will be based on the Obsidian QQTT guide on Reddit, so we will get most info from there with my comments if you need them. So okay, first the wishlist priority. I have most of the heroes already, but for the beginner players it should be different than this. So for the newer players you would like to have those heroes on the wishlist. For the light bearers it's Rowan, Rosalind, Scarlet, and then we have Rain and Estrilda. Those are being used in the Abyssal Expedition, in the Twisted Realm and some other game modes, so you would like to build those guys as well. After those you might to include other heroes for the tower. For light bearers it will be Gwyneth, it will be Morrow, and probably Cecilia. So those are the main heroes. If you need the tank you can get this guy or Lucius, up to you. So yeah, basically those are the core heroes for light bearers. For the maulers it's Scrag, then we have Kran, Brutus, and Tendra, and Skryat. Those are the core heroes used in the most areas. Brutus, you don't want to build him to Ascended, you want to build him to having 2 copies of him, so it will be Elite Plus. After that you can replace him with someone else. Over time you will build him for sure, because he is a common hero. After that you might want to include Numisu for the heals. Then you might want to include this guy for the Abyssal Expedition and everything. Pretty cool hero, to be honest. Tally, and probably, yeah, those are the core guys. Granite isn't that important in that scenario, so yeah. For the wilders we have Mishka, Aaron, Raku, Laika, and what's her name again? Astar. Those are really good heroes all together. Other than that, look at my wilders, they are so good. You might want to build Saurus if you don't have him yet, but he will be replaced later on with Scarlet, so if you build Scarlet you don't really need Saurus that much, but he is overall good hero. You might want to get few copies of Lorsan for getting the link for Torrent Cheese and overall other team modes, pretty useful. But other than that, from the wilders you don't really need, you need Pippa as well. But yeah, other than that you don't need that many heroes from this. Stacy is good as well, but she's really situational right now, so she's not top tier hero anymore. Now for the Graveborns we have Diamond, Gradual, Pharrell, Silas, and Odin. This is like the fully Graveborn team that can take out anything, so it can work as an entire team. Later on you can include Alna here, it will be like the meta team. So really good heroes. You want to build all of those guys up, and after that, if some of those guys are ascended already, you might to replace them for Thoran. Obviously you want Thoran for Thoran Cheese. Then who else do we have here? You might want to get Hodgkin. He is a pretty interesting and sometimes useful hero, not the top tier, but he will be useful for the tower. And this new guy, the old fell, I don't know his name, but he is pretty cool as well, so you might want to get those 2 guys as well. Maybe the Zyra for additional healing, but I'm not really sure about that. Everybody else isn't that useful anymore. And yes guys, for the wishlist you work towards getting them to Ascended tier and maybe Ascended 1 star, depends if you want to engrave them, if you're ready for that. But other than that, when you reach Ascended tier with a hero, you replace him with someone else, because you don't need that many heroes like really high stars. They don't give you that much, keep it in mind. So right, now when we're done with the wishlist, we want to figure out the Stargazing priorities as well. Over here, you really want to go for dimensional Hypogean heroes. If you don't know, the list should be twins first, so you can get 2 copies, Elite Plus twins. Then you go for Mortas over here, where he is, to get Elite Plus copy of Mortas. Then you go for 1 copy of Mihira over here, or maybe 2 copies, Elite Plus is pretty good as well. Then you start building Lucretia to Ascended tier, and after that you move on to building Alna to Ascended tier. When you're done with that, you go for building Khazard to Mythic. Then you move on to building Zolrath to Ascended. After that you build, where he is, Halus to Mythic, which is pretty expensive. He has been used in many game modes, so pretty useful. After that you build Mortas to Mythic, where is he? There he is. And then you finish up building Mihira to Mythic. There we go. By the time you will know what you need, so most likely the meta will change and you will decide what to go for after that. Or you can refer to Stargazing guide. And if we are talking about the, where are they? Faction summons, with the faction scrolls, the order here will be first you go for Graveborns, those are the best faction whatsoever. Then you go for Wilders because they have a lot of good heroes as well. Yeah, I don't want to click that. Then Lightburst and then Maulers. So Maulers are still in the end of the line. But yeah, you really want to get the Graveborns up really high. They are really good, so you won't regret it basically. They are OP. Now for the Dimensional Heroes and the Garrison. I know that you can get all those heroes, but you want to build that team up. First, obviously, you want to get the Ainz, then you get Albedo, then you get Prince of Persia, then you get the Queen. Where is she? I don't have the Queen, by the way, I need her. So I'd better start building her up as well. Then you get Ezio, and then you build Joker. So that's the order for acquiring the Garrison hero. How to get Garrison heroes is pretty easy. I won't talk about that. Screw that, let's move on. Now, investments, how high your hero's gear, signature item, furniture should be, and all that. For that we have the separate guides, so if you want to read the in-depth guide with explanation, you can go for that. But I'll try to make a short guide for those guys that we have here, not everyone. So Rowan, 30 signature item is a must. Basically, that's it. For the furniture, you might want to go for 3 pieces, it's really good. Other than that, engravings, I don't have him engraved. You might want to get him to E30, that will allow him to get healing better, but don't need it that much. Rosalind, plus 20 signature item, because she can do it. Come on, go away. And for the furniture, 3 pieces is a good addition if you want to go for it, but it's not that crazy as well. It will just buff your damage a little bit, so you don't really need it that much. Scarlet, for her, you want to max her out. She's really good for the boss fights. So it's plus 30 signature item, it's 9 furniture, it's the tier 3 pieces for the maximum damage, so you might wanna build her up to the maximum if you can afford that. That's not easy. For Strilda, plus 20 signature item is a must. Then we have 3 furniture pieces requirement, and the engraving, it should be good, plus 30, but if you are free to play, she is not the top priority for that. You don't use her that much in order to build up your engraving. For the rain, we have plus 20 signature item requirement. I don't have that because I'm like, I don't care. And no need for that much of a furniture other than 3 pieces, so you don't have really high investment on her. No need for engraving. Pretty useful hero overall for the boss fights and everything, so yeah, you might want to build her up a little bit. Let's move on to Maulers. First one is correct. I don't have him built up, so let's go for the fully built one. Basically, you want plus 10 signature item, maybe plus 20. It's really good. It's not that expensive anyway to get. Then for the furniture, you want 3 pieces. For starters, that will allow your heroes to be stronger and all that. 9 pieces might be good for later stages if you want to use him later on, but you will decide it later, so 3 pieces is a good starting point for him. Next one is Scryeth. Over here we have... Any of those are really good, but I like Plat 30 quite a lot because of the Sandstorm that allows him to do crazy things to the enemies. So yeah, that's pretty much a must in my opinion. The guide says that 10 or 20 on signature item will work. I don't agree with that. He was pretty useless with the low signature item. For the early game, maybe. He should have plus 3 signature item. That's a must, because that will kind of move the enemies from the flanks a little bit deeper into the middle, so Aaron can pull them. Useful for 5-0 team. 9 pieces is good sometimes, but not really necessary in my opinion. So I won't go for that unless I will build other heroes first. No engraving required for him, so that's a really low investment hero that can be really good. Next one is Kren. Plus 30 signature item is really useful, at least plus 20, because that will allow you to stun the enemies. That's a really important milestone here. Plus 30 is good as well, I mean, if you can afford that, of course. As for the furniture, 3 pieces is pretty much a must. Increase the AoE range of the bomb, and 9 pieces will increase his survivability quite a lot. As for the gear, he might be your carry in the Mallet Tower, so you can invest something in him and get the tier 3, so that's pretty much useful. Engravings, plus 30 is a good starting point. Then you might want to go for E41 by increasing his haste and attack and all those milestones, but I don't really go there yet because I have other priorities at the moment. And Tendra, for her, in order to be useful, you need her fully built up, plus 30 signature item, full furniture, I don't have any, and engraving 60, because that will allow her to be really crazy. So that will allow her to do crazy things to the enemies, full gear, really high tier and all that. Man, she will be a beast, but that's a really high investment and you gotta decide if you want to go for it or not, because if you are free to play, the resources are so limited that you can't really waste them on one of the heroes. But yeah, she will be used in the tower, in the cursed realm, in the twisted realm. For the Brutus, you don't want to invest in him that much, just get him random gear, random stuff. Plus 20 signature item is a good step because it will increase his survivability by 1 second, so it's a good step forward. Other than that, I don't think that I have furniture for him. Yeah, that might be a good option as well, 3 pieces if you want him to tank longer. And 9 pieces will make him survive even longer, but at that point I guess he doesn't need it in the team anymore. But yeah, really good hero. If you want him at the lowest minimum, he can survive for a while and let your guys to build up the power to use the ultimate and destroy the enemy. Other than that, well, yeah, mid shield that doesn't die, so pretty cool. Now let's move on to Wilders. First one is Mishka, there we go. My Mishka isn't ready for action. Plus 20 signature item is a must, plus 30 might be a good addition as well. I mean, she's a good hero, you might want to build her up properly, but she requires a lot of investment. So plus 20 is minimum, plus 30 is recommended. So 9 furniture is pretty much a must, that will allow her to work really properly. So when the wolves die, she will be even angrier. E30 is a good addition to her. E60 though is really crazy because that will allow her to heal all allies who have shields, so that's a really good addition to her that will make your team survivability way higher. Aaron, depending on how do you want to use him, you might not really invest a lot in him if he is just using for the 5 pull to pull the enemies. If you want to use him properly, you want to invest in him quite a lot. He's a really good hero if properly developed. So 10 to 20 signature item for the early mid game. Plus 30 might be a good addition for the late game, but you know, you can still use him without it. As for the furniture, 3 pieces is really required early on to give him additional damage, and 9 pieces is really good when you want him to be a proper damage dealer. So yeah, Raku, for this guy, if in order for him to be really powerful, you want to build him up to the maximum. Signature item must be maxed out plus 30, otherwise it won't work, so yeah, we need that. Then for the furniture, 3 pieces is a good start, that will help you quite a lot because it's really useful. 9 pieces though is really good as well, but not really a must early on. For the later game, of course, it is required. For the engraving, you want to engrave him to plus 30, that's really good, that will extend the duration of package. And then you might want to invest a little bit into his damaging ability, haste abilities and all that in order for him to be more effective. For the Leica, for the early game as a energy battery, plus 20 signature item is pretty much enough. If you want to use her later on in the late game in the high deficit area, you want her to be 39, so plus 30 is pretty much a must for her for the late game, and 9 pieces to get everything that you can out of her. Engraving isn't really required for her. For Esther, signature item plus 20 is pretty good, plus 30 will make her better, obviously. Then for the furniture, 3 pieces is good. 9 pieces though will allow her flame seeds to target 2 enemies, which is pretty cool. As for the engraving, E30 will buff additional damage, not that crazy, but E60 will make her a really good support hero, so might wanna go for it if you have the resources and use her. Now for the Graveborns. First one is Gradual. Plus 20 signature item is a requirement, that's really helping him up. Then for the furniture, you really want to have 9 pieces on him, that's pretty much a must for him to be really viable and efficient. And engraving him to E30 is really useful, and E60 will make it more optimal. So yeah, you really want to build him up, you won't regret it, he's been useful everywhere. I even put some tier 4 gear on him, so you might want to do that as well. You won't regret it. And yeah, he's useful everywhere, so meta team, all the team modes, boss, damage dealer, so yeah, pretty cool. For Diamond, plus 20 signature item is a requirement, plus 30 will make him way more durable, so that's a good investment. For the furniture, 3 pieces is a must. 9 pieces is pretty useful, but it's not really mandatory, so it's up to you if you want to go for that. If you like him that much, you can go for it. Engravings aren't really required unless you really want to use him on the competitive level of playthrough. So yeah, for the Pharaoh we want to have at least plus 20 signature item, plus 30 will be even better, but it costs, so you can start using him at plus 20 properly. For the furniture, you really want to have 9 pieces. It will help so much, and I think it's kinda a requirement for him, to be honest. Like, without it, he is not that good. For the engravings, E30 is recommended. That will allow him to do more crowd control, but it's not really mandatory. If you want to use him and you like him, you might invest into engraving. That won't be wasted resources. Now, the Silas. For Silas, 30 signature item is a must. 9 pieces furniture is a must. And plus 30 engraving is recommended as well. I don't have it yet. Plus 60 is optimal. So you really want to build him up. Really good hero, one of the best supports in the game, so go for it. Odin, another gear-hungry hero. You want to have him at plus 30 signature item, plus 9 furniture. All the gear should be at least tier 3, better tier 4, so you really want to invest in the gear for him. And engraving plus 30 is pretty much a must, it's really useful. Plus 60 recommended. So if you will be able to build him up to the max, he will be a beast who will destroy the enemies, one of the best carries in the game. Now, Celestial investment. For the twins, you want them to have plus 30 signature item and maybe 3 pieces of furniture. There we go. If you really like twins and you want them to be really effective, you can go for 9 pieces furniture and engraving 30. That will allow them to get better skills, more survivability and all that, and more stats, so it will be good. For the Alna, you want plus 30 and 9 pieces of furniture, otherwise she won't work. So in order for her to be effective, you want all that stuff to be ready and getting the good here, so she won't die easily. For the Hypogean heroes, for the Lucretia, I would say getting everything that you can for her is a must. So plus 30 signature item, 9 pieces furniture, obviously, getting her to engraving 60 at least, getting her tier 4 gear if you can, and all that. You won't regret it, she is a beast, she's destroying enemies like there is no tomorrow, so why the hell not? For the Zoloroth, you want plus 30 signature item and at least 3 pieces, that's a minimum investment. 3 pieces of furniture. For the better performance, 9 pieces of furniture and plus 30 engravings. And in order for him to be really powerful, you can get that engraving to plus 60. That's an overkill, but that's worth it. He is a pretty good hero. Sadly, not ready yet, so yeah. Morta's breakpoint is mythic plus 20 signature item. Basically, that's all you need for him to be effective, but if you want to build him afterwards, it's a good way to make him stronger, but he will be just good at mythic plus 20, so don't worry about not building him up to ascended early on. For the Mihira, you want plus 30 signature item. That will be really useful and make you more survivability. It will increase your survivability in the charm team. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah, getting her to ascended might make you better, but it should be done after making other priorities. So yeah, you don't really want to waste Stargazing cards on that early on. For the Khazard, signature item plus 30 is a must, that's really useful. And honestly, you really want to get his furniture as well when you can. So Khazard is getting only stronger as he will get more additional abilities and the crowd control effects. Now dimensionals, obviously here it's pretty easy. For Ainz, you want to put everything you can in him. Plus 30 signature item, 9 furniture pieces, tier 4 weapon, upgraded when you can. I can't yet, I don't know why. So yeah, you really want to get him as strong as soon as possible, that will only help. For the Albedo, 30 signature item and 3 furniture is a good start. For the late game, you want 9 furniture in order for her to be you know, more survival. She won't die that early on, and engraving 30 will be required later as well. Leonardo da Vinci. 20 signature item and 9 furniture pieces is a good start. That will make him useful, but not really OP. You won't waste that many resources on that. But getting him to 30 signature item will be really useful as well, because that will help him to do so much more damage. And if you will want to engrave him, getting him plus 60 engraving will make him a frontline hero, because he will be way more tough and he won't be killed at early on, and like that's how he's supposed to be. So yeah, that's hard to achieve, I know. For the Merlin, plus 20 signature item and 9 furniture pieces is a good start. 9 pieces is really powerful. That will allow your team to be way more tough, because the Dazzling Force will be cast at the beginning of the fight, and overall plus 30 will help as well, so you really want to build him to plus 39. No engraving required, so pretty good. For the Queen, the minimal investment is plus 20 signature item and 9 furniture pieces. The furniture pieces will allow her to buff nearby allies, attack rated by quite a lot, so pretty powerful. Getting plus 30 signature item, oh my god, is really good as well. That will amplify her damage quite a lot. For Arthur, getting him to plus 20 signature item and 3 furniture pieces might be a good start early on, but later on you would like to have him at plus 39, because that will make him more tough and he will rarely die. So yeah, if you can work on that right now, do it, you won't regret it. For the Prince of Persia, the early investment is plus 20 signature item. That will be really useful, and getting him 3 furniture pieces will help as well. For the late game though, you want to have 9 pieces in order to use the recall 2 times and plus 30 signature item, because in the late game you want your heroes to be real powerful. For the Ezio, 20 signature item is a must and 9 pieces furniture is a must. And that's where he starts. Basically, that's what you need to have. In other scenarios, he might not be able to use his ultimate on time and defeat the enemies, so he might have some drawbacks if you don't have him fully maxed out. Well, I mean, add the required signature item and furniture. And for the Joker, plus 20 signature item is a good starting point, and in the furniture, 3 pieces might be a good starting point as well. The problem is you already have way too many heroes to build, and your priority should be the right heroes. You don't want to invest everything in everyone, you want to build one hero after another. That will help you way more with the progression than in developing several heroes at the same time. Keep it in mind, guys. So, alright guys, I hope this guide was useful for you. I think it will be longer than I expected, not 10-minute video, but probably about 20-25. Let me know what do you think about this in the comments. Do you want more guides like this, or do you want more event videos? Up to you, you decide what will be on this channel, and I will make it for you. And yeah, while going to the comments, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends and guildies, subscribe to the channel, important. Hit that bell button and check the pinned comment and the video description for the links. There are some really cool things there. First one, there is a Discord link where we can talk. Second, we have the link for other YouTube channel, my second channel with the idle incremental games. You might wanna like that. If you don't like it, go subscribe anyway. I need 1k subs there as soon as possible. You can unsubscribe later, but please, we need 1k subs there. And yeah, there are playlists for more AFK Arena guides and videos, so you might want to find something useful there as well. Oh yeah, social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that, you can find it in the video description. And yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you right now, I guess. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate that quite a lot. Stand Kosh out. Have a good one. Bye.